Welcome back to Behind the Door. Before we dive into this story, comment below and tell us which city you're watching from. And once the story ends, don't forget to rate it from 0 to 10. Enjoy this amazing tale, only on Behind the Door. Let's get started. Maria Rodriguez wiped the sweat from her forehead as she pushed her cleaning cart through the gleaming marble lobby of the Grand Meridian Hotel. It was past midnight, and her feet ached from 10 hours of scrubbing floors and emptying trash bins. At 52 years old, every shift felt harder than the last, but she couldn't afford to complain. This job was all that stood between her and the streets after her husband's death left her drowning in medical debt. The hotel's restaurant had just closed, and Maria's supervisor had assigned her to clean it before heading home. As she entered the elegant dining room with its crystal chandeliers and pristine white tablecloths, she allowed herself a moment to admire the beauty she maintained but could never afford to experience. The rich ate here without a second thought, while she counted pennies to buy bread. Maria worked methodically, wiping down tables and vacuuming the plush carpet. Her back screamed in protest with every movement. When she reached the final section of the restaurant, exhaustion overwhelmed her. Just 5 minutes, she thought, just 5 minutes to rest before finishing up. She glanced around the empty room and made a decision that would change everything. There was a comfortable booth in the corner, luxurious and inviting. She told herself she would just sit for a moment, rest her weary bones, and then finish her work. The leather seat felt like heaven as Maria sank into it. She closed her eyes, promising herself just a brief rest, but exhaustion claimed her, and within seconds, she drifted into a deep sleep, her cleaning uniform still damp with perspiration, her rough hands folded on the pristine table before her. At 6 a.m, the restaurant began preparing for breakfast service. The manager, Mr. Harrison, walked through with his checklist, ensuring everything was perfect. Today was special. Alexander Chen, the billionaire technology mogul, was staying at the hotel and had reserved his usual table for breakfast. That table, the one in the corner where a cleaning woman was now sleeping soundly. Mr. Harrison's face turned crimson with rage. He rushed over and shook Maria awake roughly. She jolted upright, disoriented and terrified. Before she could explain, he was shouting about her incompetence, about how she had disgraced the hotel, about how she was fired effective immediately. Maria's eyes filled with tears as she stammered apologies, trying to explain how exhausted she had been, how she had only meant to rest for a moment. The commotion attracted the attention of the early morning staff, and soon a small crowd had gathered. Maria felt humiliation wash over her as she stood there in her worn uniform, the object of everyone's stares and whispers. She reached for her cleaning cart, ready to leave in disgrace, when a calm voice cut through the chaos. Alexander Chen had entered the restaurant unnoticed during the confrontation. He was a tall man in his early 50s, dressed simply in jeans and a casual shirt, nothing that would reveal his extraordinary wealth. He had been watching the scene unfold, and something about the exhausted cleaner and the cruel manager had struck a chord deep within him. "Excuse me," Alexander said, his voice quiet but commanding. "Is there a problem with my table?" Mr. Harrison spun around, his expression instantly shifting from anger to obsequious concern. "Mr. Chen, please accept our deepest apologies. This woman was sleeping at your reserved table. I assure you she is being terminated immediately, and we will have everything sanitized." Alexander walked slowly to the table and looked at Maria, who stood trembling, clutching her cart for support. He saw the exhaustion etched into her face, the calluses on her hands, the defeat in her eyes. And in that moment, he saw his own mother, who had worked 3 cleaning jobs to raise him after his father abandoned them. He remembered finding her asleep at the kitchen table countless times, too tired to make it to bed. "What is your name?" Alexander asked Maria gently. "Maria Rodriguez, sir," she whispered, her voice breaking. "How long have you worked here, Maria?" 8 years, sir." "And you work the night shift?" She nodded, tears streaming down her face. "I work from 8 at night until 6 in the morning, sometimes longer when we are short-staffed. Last night I was just so tired. I only meant to sit for a moment. I am so sorry." Alexander turned to Mr. Harrison. "How much does Maria earn per hour?" The manager sputtered, confused by the question. $15 an hour, sir, but I don't see what that has to do with anything. So Maria makes about $30,000 a year, working through the night while the rest of us sleep, maintaining the luxury that people like me enjoy. And the one-time exhaustion overtakes her, Your response is to humiliate and fire her." Alexander's voice remained calm, but there was steel beneath it. He turned back to Maria. "Tell me, why do you work so hard? Do you have family?" Through her tears, Maria explained. Her husband had died 2 years ago from cancer. The medical bills had consumed their savings and left her in debt. She had a daughter, Sophia, who was brilliant and had been accepted to college, but they couldn't afford tuition. Maria was working herself to exhaustion, trying to save every penny for her daughter's education and to pay off the crushing debt. Alexander listened intently, and when Maria finished, he made a decision that shocked everyone present. "Mr. Harrison, Maria will not be fired. In fact, I am offering her a position in my company. Maria, I run a technology company, but I also oversee operations for several businesses. I need someone who understands the value of hard work, someone with integrity who cares about doing things right. I would like to offer you a position as a facilities operations manager at my headquarters. The salary is $90,000 a year, with full benefits and paid education programs." The restaurant fell silent. Maria stared at Alexander, unable to comprehend what she had just heard. "Sir, I don't understand. I am just a cleaner. I have no college degree, no special training." Alexander smiled warmly. "You have something more valuable than a degree, Maria. You have character, work ethic, and dedication. Those cannot be taught. The rest, we can train. Furthermore, I will personally establish a scholarship fund for your daughter's education. She will attend college debt-free." Maria collapsed into the nearest chair, sobbing openly now, overwhelmed by this sudden reversal of fortune. Mr. Harrison stood frozen, realizing he had just witnessed something extraordinary. Alexander sat down across from Maria. "My mother was a cleaner too. She worked until her hands bled to give me opportunities. She never lived to see me succeed. When I saw you sleeping at this table, exhausted from honest work, I saw her. Let me give you the chance someone should have given her." 6 months later, Maria thrived in her new role, managing facilities operations with the same dedication she had brought to cleaning. Her daughter Sophia was excelling in college, and Alexander had gained not just an excellent employee, but a reminder of where he came from and why success means nothing if not used to lift others up. That accidental moment at a billionaire's table became the doorway to a new life, proving that sometimes fate works in mysterious ways, and one act of compassion can change everything. So, what do you think about this incredible story? Rate it from 0 to 10 in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Behind the Door for more amazing stories that will inspire you. See you in the next video.